Hello and welcome to the latest edition of the Leeds Pride TechFounders series, where we follow the journey of some of the leading local tech companies. My name is Alex Saunders. I'm a Senior Associate in the Technology team at Leeds Pride. I'm delighted to be here today at the offices of FXhome.
Hi there, I'm Josh and I'm the founder of FXhome.
Hi, I'm Andrea and I'm the COO of FXhome.
Brilliant. Thanks for joining us today. Pleasure to have you both here. So tell us a little bit about FXhome and its sort of main product.
So FXhome, we've been going 18 years now, which seems terrifying. It's just over 18 years. And we're a software company, which sounds dull, but we actually make really fun and interesting creative software. What that means is that we make photography and video software. So on the photography side, we have a product called Emerge, and that's all about, making your photos prettier, but also putting multiple photos together, merging them, Emerge, putting them together, green screen, which allows you to cut people out from backgrounds, and then creating all new photos from that. But then our biggest product is FXhome, which is a video product, and it's an all-in-one product that is a video editor. It's like a titler, it's a visual effects product, it's a compositor, it does all sorts of things that would normally be split off into lots of different software products, but all put into one. And there's a free version, and then there's a paid version, which is still very affordable. And that product's got about 4 million users around the world.
So you've been going for a little while. What made you decide to take that leap of faith and start a creative tech business?
Being incredibly naive and young and hopeful and optimistic about everything. So doing tech things and kind of geeky things was always my thing since I was a kid. So I'd always been putting together software, and I ended up putting together some software for some filmmakers I knew. And from doing that, it seemed like a great idea to try and sell that. It wasn't a great idea for a while, but then the internet and YouTube and everything caught up, and then we found some customers, which is great.
So I'm sure there's a lot to choose from, but what would you say is the proudest moment?
We have amazing people here in Norwich that have come from far and wide across Europe. We've had people from Australia working here, and there's such an amazing team of people, and they care so much about our customers and what we do. So I'm just really proud of that all the time, rather than just one moment.
So every startup has its challenges. We wouldn't want to dwell on it, but is there anything in particular that you found challenging, particularly in the early days?
In the early days, it was probably because we're in Norfolk, there was a lack of understanding about tech companies. Particularly as we don't own a property, we have no
physical assets really, so trying to go to a traditional bank, this was about 10 years ago or more now, and explaining what we're trying to do, and if you're trying to get any funding, it was quite difficult back then to be able to show what you could do without having a big warehouse full of stock.
Yeah, almost make them understand the industry and the sector.
Definitely, but I do think that Norfolk has really moved on in that respect. There's lots more going on in the tech sector here, and I think the banks and other professions are used to working with tech companies now. But that was definitely a challenge for us back then.
So as we were wandering around earlier, I saw that there's a few awards sitting proudly on tables. Perhaps you can tell us a little bit about those.
We decided to enter the Norfolk Business Awards last year, so that was 2018. We entered 2 categories, and we actually won the customer care category and the breaking boundaries category. And that was really great for us because as a software company, sometimes we're just stuck at our computers, and not to say we don't go out, because we do sometimes, but it was nice to actually go out in the local business community and be recognised locally for doing great work in technology.
If you rewound to when you first started the company, maybe a difficult question, but is there anything that you'd do differently, or is there any kind of wisdom you would impart on budding entrepreneurs?
Yeah, probably. There's probably a lot. There's always the understand what you are good at, and then really try and find people that are good at the other things, because you can't be good at everything. Also double down on the things that you are good at. So until you can afford to have staff that are brilliant and better than you at all the numerous things that you hire them for, try and stay focused on the things that you are good at, but really learn as well. So like, if there is something you feel that's really important, don't just take a stab at it. Actually, go out there and learn stuff, because, you know, if you're passionate about something, you can have the energy to learn things even if they're really hard. So yeah, I would say be inquisitive, learn stuff, and find people that are awesome. And love what you do. That was the other one I would say is find something that gets you up in the morning and gets you up at the weekend, gets you up in the middle of the night. And yeah, that can change over time. You can modify it. You can completely change it. But if at any point you find you're not doing the thing that gets you up, then you're probably doing the wrong thing.
Yeah, that's brilliant. You can see that the enthusiasm's still shining through after all these years. Might have been the Red Bull off camera.
Well, no, that's my constant friend through all of this. So I can always guarantee it's there.
So I can't help but notice there's quite a lot of Star Wars memorabilia around here. I'm just going to ask you a completely non-work related question, which is, favourite Star Wars film?
That's too hard. Because there's this nostalgic thing, but artistically, The Force Awakens was one of the prettiest films that has ever been made. There's flawless visual effects all the way through that, which, you know, like the prequels in between were just so terrible that, I mean, they had great effects, but they were just terrible movies. The end sequence of Rogue One with Darth Vader, one of our users choreographed and filmed that. So it's like, if I had to pick anything from Star Wars, that last sequence of Rogue One is the best part of Star Wars ever. Like, Darth Vader actually being like, you know, like Darth Vader should be, and just flinging people around and chopping them in half. That's the best part.
So much for joining us today. Real pleasure speaking with you both. I look forward to catching up soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.